Hi,
Sunday.
guys. Yes, happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for a quick little overview of Cemetery Financial. Annie and I are super excited to share with you over the next hour. Just kidding. We'll keep it to 30 minutes or less. But we're gonna show you a quick little video and then we will introduce ourselves and share some of our favorite parts of cemetery and kind of what makes life here as an agent special.
Oh, man, do y'all love the venue or what? In the last 2 quarters, these are some records that we've broken. APV submit, recruits, leads, new writers, unique writers, resets, IUL submit, annuity submit. Give yourselves a round of applause because that's not normal.
We're not playing in the world of mediocre around here. Possibilitarians. That is what you all are. Dream and see something bigger.
Have boot camps, corporate overviews, small training events that allow yourself to be in front of people, building relationships.
Just get a little outside your comfort zone. I do it every day.
Focus on getting people 15 apps in 12 weeks, and the likelihood of them staying with us a year and beyond increases dramatically.
Don't shortcut it because it works.
Right.
Do it. Got to keep time and pressure rolling.
Excited about this business. Be excited about what it's doing for your family, for your life.
Well, and if you're striving to be a perfected leader, then I will tell you perfection only exists in imperfection.
Believe in yourself like we believe in you.
Hey, it's Disperse Quigley.
The fact that we hit our goal of 175,000 today made a difference in a lot of kids' lives. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your hearts.
We're worthy to win. Worthy to win. Show up. Figure it out. The world is freaking waiting. Let's freaking go.
Oh, I love that video so much. So
Same.
much, so much, so much. I am Annie Davis, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about who I am and how symmetry kind of found me, I like to say, and my connection with Kristen, and then we'll kind of walk you through, like she said, why symmetry is the best thing that's happened to us. I am on the right-hand side, I'm a teacher, a former teacher, I should say, a mom of 3 kiddos, a wife. I married my husband, who was my junior high sweetheart. My career path was never to be an insurance agent. I don't even know, that's why I say insurance found me, because I truly would have never guessed that this was where I would be in my almost 40 years of age. I came out of college and went right into the classroom. I actually taught for 10 years. I took some time off, to raise my 3 kiddos, and found myself, when I was raising my kids, interested in doing something entrepreneurial. So I started in the MLM space and began doing leadership and sales from an MLM standpoint. And I met Kristen through that former business. We actually had, we were sort of sidelines in that business, and we were growing both very big businesses, really, with big teams. And I always secretly hoped that I could work with Kristen in some capacity. And we found ourselves in a position, my husband and I, we were building, we were renovating our house that we live in now, but I was in the classroom at the time, and I was just really unsettled, right? I was feeling a little broken, I guess is what they say brings you here, or symmetry finds people who, are looking for opportunities. And that's, I guess, what really intrigued me to come here. Kristen had started posting about this insurance thing that she was doing. And I also knew our mutual friend, Jamie, who had been or acquaintance, I should say, who had started in the insurance industry and was really taking off. So my interest was immediately piqued. So I reached out to Kristen and I had a conversation with her and Jamie in a classroom with our lights turned down during planning period. It's sort of my favorite kickstart to this whole story that we've created here. But I've been doing this now for 2.5, almost 3 years. April will be 3 years for me. I can't even believe it's been that long. And I can say without a doubt in my mind that this has been the best financial decision that my family and I have made, but also the best professional decision of my life. And I never would have guessed this is where I would be. But I want to talk with Kristen too, about her journey and sort of how Symmetry found her. So
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to think that we're life insurance agents and growing brokerages, and it's actually something that was always instilled in me as important, as I am a daughter of a brick and mortar business owner, family business, like employees, the building, the warehouses, all the things. And so I think my like love for entrepreneurship, but really just the lifestyle that it can provide, has always been instilled in me since I was little. I, watched my parents work hard and my grandparents, and be able to provide and be there for us when they needed to. And so I always had that idea that I wanted to provide that for my family as well. But somehow along the way, I also got caught up in my love for being in education and being part of school counseling. And my backstory, if we had hours to sit here, I would share with you about my history with depression and personal growth, and how that kind of sparked my love for wanting to be a part of, people's mental health life. And so I think that's how I landed in the school counselor, world. And then just like Annie shared, education provided a little bit of flexibility and freedom per se for us as moms, just being able to be present for our kids, the same schedules, summers off, holidays, that kind of was sold to us as the dream. And I went with it. But quickly after I got my master's in education and started my first job, I realized that I may love helping people with their mental health, and I may love, having this schedule, but the money sure wasn't going to provide for our family in the way that I wanted it to. It definitely wasn't going to provide in the way that my parents were able to provide for us growing up. And I wanted to live that yes life. I wanted to be able to say yes to the new shoes for the school year, and the yes to the vacation, and the yes to, family dinners out or spontaneous trips, wherever we wanted to go. And my salary in school education with a master's degree was not going to cut it. And that's when I kind of added on my side gig with selling skincare and met Annie. And I'm so thankful for that journey, because it really gave me and equipped me with the tools and growth that I needed in order to succeed here. And really not just here, but in so many things in my life. And so 10 years in that industry, and I knew that I needed to make a change, make a switch, and was scrolling Facebook and came across Jamie's post about insurance and what her life looked like as an agent, kind of what we're going to share with you today. And after one conversation with her, I was hooked. I knew that this could provide me not just a career, but also the income that I was looking for, and the freedom and flexibility that I wanted to have in my life in order to continue showing up as a mom and continue showing up as a wife in the way that I had been able to with a very successful direct sales business. So that is why I said yes to Symmetry Financial. And there are a lot of different places that you can land as an insurance agent, or if you're looking to, one day own a brokerage or an insurance agency for yourself. But I am so thankful that I landed here first. I had no idea that there were so many options, but you're going to learn a little bit about what the insurance world looks like, and really why I am so thankful that I landed here. Annie's going to share with you a couple of those things about why Symmetry is so special, and really has a lot of unique characteristics and qualities that a lot of other places don't have. So
love that. You said a lot of things that really hit home to me, and I'll try to touch on them as we go through the slides, but probably we'll mention them in the why Symmetry piece. So when I was looking for maybe an additional stream of income in the classroom and this monstrosity of a project that we had taken on, I knew that I wanted to be able to work from anywhere. And I didn't want to have to report to a part-time job. So first and foremost, I think that's probably one of the biggest perks is that we can do this from literally any corner of our lives. I've run this business, and I don't always recommend it, but I've run this business from my minivan, I've run it from my classroom, I've run it from my home, like you name it, and I've probably worked from that location. So you have a portable business as long as you have, you know, a computer and access to your leads. So I love that I can work for myself, but I'm not by myself, right? So we have a community of people that are all working towards goals of their own. So we have this amazing community and culture that you just cannot duplicate. We have a workroom that we all plug into, so it's just really great. The camaraderie is, you know, second to none. We have a business that literally you can plug yourself into, and as long as you're coachable and a sponge and you want to learn and you are able to kind of go with what we show you works, there's not a doubt in my mind that you can be successful. I mentioned about the culture and our value system. Symmetry from the top down has leadership that models this and walks this out day in and day out. We have the ability to scale our income. So you can come in here and you can work just as an agent and write business on your own pen is what we call it. But you can also, if you want to, and you want to have that time and money freedom that, you know, some people desire, maybe they have, you know, maybe they have a lot of time, but they just don't have the money. Or maybe they have enough money, but they just don't have the time. Guys, you can scale this business so that you don't have to be tied to your work, and your work can be growing as you are sleeping, which to me was really important when I thought about what I wanted out of a next venture of mine. And then, you know, we walked ourselves through an industry, or with an industry that went through what was, you know, considered a recession, and we are proof that it is recession resistant, because our business and this company grew during that most challenging time in our economy. And, you know, not only are we doing work that's meaningful, but when we're serving our clients and we're serving other agents who are also looking for that next thing or that answer to their quiet prayers, we're doing work that means something. So whether you're protecting a family or you're opening the opportunity up to somebody, we're making an impact on people's lives. And if you think about it, when somebody has lost a loved one, you're the one piece of that puzzle that helps solve that problem for them, you know, or takes away some of that pain. You're that one person that can deliver good news. So Kristen's going to talk a little bit about, you know, the next slide, and who is Symmetry, and who are the founders, and how did this whole thing start?
I got distracted by the snow that's going on in your window behind you. I think it's snow, but I'm like,
It's really pretty.
I want it. Yeah, so our founders they're really the backbone of why Symmetry is who they are. And to be honest with you, the last couple of months, we've talked about this on our last couple of overviews, but I have always been so impressed by the founders because of, you know, their story is that they all knew each other in a prior insurance company. Meredith and Brandon clearly are married, same last name, but they are husband and wife, and have been friends with Casey for a long time, and have known Brian Pope just because of their prior, you know, insurance experience. But they were in another company and they realized, hey, we really love this gig. We really love this industry. We really love the products that we have to provide. But we want to be able to empower the agent to not only do what they do better, faster, spend less time, you know, doing the work that they do and more time with their family. And we want to do all of those things, but also put more money in their pockets. So they decided to branch off and start their own company. And that is phenomenal. They're super smart. They know what they're doing. I've always been impressed. But for me, what stands out the most is the hearts. And they have huge hearts. They've always been massively impressive to me, authentic, encouragers, just down to earth. I mean, I've been in the Ellison's home, like on their couch with no shoes on, socks, you know, like chef cooking for us, and you would never know how super successful they were. But all of them live in Asheville, Swannanoa, North Carolina, which was recently hit by Hurricane Helene in the end of September, and it was devastating. And just to see their hearts pour out for their community afterwards to do whatever they could, were delivering generators and food, and they created an entire foundation in order to show up for their community. All the while, you can see in this top picture, their own home office, our home office, was flooded completely underwater. You can see on the bottom the Cemetery Financial Group picture. That was us in January of this year. And then that top picture that is completely flooded is after the hurricane hit. And so they have lost thousands of people in their community, and there are people massively still struggling, living in tents as of right now. And it's brutally cold. It's heartbreaking. But we have seen them show up in ways that just is phenomenal. They are incredible people, and I know that both of us are so proud to be here and partnered with them. So we love our founders. And Annie's going to share a little bit about Cemetery and Quility, which is kind of the two companies that they have kind of merged together into this beautiful little insurance baby.
I love that. And we always knew they had good hearts, but I think watching them carry out that mission after such a tragic event, that just sealed the deal for me, watching their hearts kind of take action. And this slide, guys, is very, very quick, right? So Symmetry Financial Group is the umbrella, the overhead. We are the boots on the ground. We are Symmetry Financial Group. We are the agents that actually walk out the connections with the carriers that we have. And so Kristen and I, we're licensed and we're contracted with all of these big name carriers. Quility is our platform, sorry, my little doggy's behind me. Quility is our tech platform. And so they are the platform that helps us take care of all of the technical stuff behind the scenes. They source our leads. They have all of our things taken care of from a tech side. But Symmetry Financial Group is the actual boots on the ground. Quility is our proprietary products that we have.
And I'm going to share just quickly, like we said, the hearts of our founders are really, really big. And so their agents, their owners walking out core values that are important to them is, probably priority. You could be the best sales agent on the earth, and if you don't hold these core values close to yourself, your character, then they will most likely ask you to leave politely. And I think that, again, that just speaks volumes to me. I want you to have a big heart, but I also want you to have high character. And all of these core values are very important. I think my favorite is just open and honest and productive communication. It really kind of ties in with relationships. I have been in a prior company where open, honest, authentic relationships from the top down was not present. Maybe I thought it was, but when I came here, I was completely blown away. So I think that all of these things are so important, but those really speak volumes to me. And I want to work in a place that, prioritizes these, and our founders definitely do from the top down. We do a lot of things here, and we work with a lot of different carriers, and Annie's going to kind of touch on some of those that are most important for us as producers and owners.
Pretty little slide. This is a little change up. I love that.
Surprise.
Okay, so we do every type of protection. Literally, if you could hand me a client, I could probably find something that they need or a gap that's missing in their coverage. So we protect anybody from a newborn baby all the way up to 89 years old. So it could vary from, you just took out a home loan and you need protection to make sure your mortgage is covered. If God forbid you get sick or you pass away, we call that mortgage protection. And that's really our bread and butter. That's where our leads are generated for the most part. We have other leads that are generated as well. If you are, say, recently retired or you're planning retirement and you have maybe a 401k that you're not contributing to anymore, or you have an investment that you want to make, we have advanced market specialists that take care of that realm. If you're a parent and you want to get coverage for your child so that you can protect maybe a burial or a plan for them, longevity wise, or if you are looking for like your end of life planning, we take care of that. We take care of everything from birth to 89. We also offer a lot of products that have disability riders. So we have pretty much anything for anybody at any age. The carriers that are listed at the bottom are our most favorites, and they are our core carriers. We have relationships with each one of them, and we also work very closely with the reps that work for those companies. So it's really nice to be able to like text the rep and say, "Yo, hey, I need help on this client." They're really, really great people, and we have developed really great relationships with these carriers and their reps.
So true. It's so true. And now, my favorite slide. I always like to joke because I hate this slide, but there are people who love numbers and data who love this slide, like my husband. So this is what we like to call the hockey stick growth graph. I love ice hockey, but I do not love this graph, but it is important to show. And the reason for that is because if you are in the industry, you may be familiar with pandemic and how things have shifted since then. If you're not in the industry, this will be helpful for you to see just because we've grown, especially over the last year or two that have been really difficult in an industry like ours. And I think that's something to be really proud of. And so obviously we've had massive growth since the day we opened up doors in 2009. I mean, we have had some years of incredible growth, but I love to look at post-pandemic symmetry and the growth that we've had really kind of honing in into a completely new world of selling. And I think that's part of what we speak to that's really special about symmetry is just our ability to make a shift in an industry that went door to door knocking. We've really turned to virtual sales and kind of what remote selling looks like for brokers and ownership and owning remote agencies. We've really turned that into something special here. And we have the tech and the training and all of that. But we've grown a lot and we haven't gone backwards over the last year. And most of the industry has. And I think that's super important because it's not been an easy year for anyone. And to show that we've kind of stayed steady, I think is a true testament to what we're doing and the companies that we work with. There were a couple of different reasons why we decided to land at Symmetry, but one of the most important things for Annie and I definitely was what she's going to touch on here.
Oh, leads, guys. Kirsten and I were in a former industry where, a large part of where we got our clients is from friends and family and people that supported our business because they knew us and they trusted us, which is all great, right? You can find lots of people who know you and trust you and want you to be their insurance agent. But when those people run out, or when those people decide that maybe they have somebody else that they're loyal to, you want to have leads that are generated so that you can easily pick up the phone. They've requested your help and you can call them and you can say, "Hey, you've requested this information. I'm the agent that's been assigned to help you." Guys, what a blessing that is. We have leads aplenty is what I like to say. So you can read the information, but our generation of our leads can be anywhere from mortgage protection to life insurance leads, just general life leads. We have people that are looking for debt-free life, that are looking for, getting out of debt faster. We have people, like I had mentioned, people that have an IUL or they want to have something that they transfer their wealth into and they want a specialist to take care of them. But general life and mortgage protection leads are really where our specialty sits. And so we have those generated in real time too. So you can have leads that are ready and active and wanting to buy on the spot. We also have leads that have called in or they filled out paperwork. So they're waiting for an agent to give them a call to give them options, which is wonderful.
And we've touched on a couple of different, ways that we've used a couple of different terms, producer, ownership here. And that's something that's really special about the Symmetry business model is you can come here and be a career agent. You can sell all the life insurance and annuities and IULs that your little heart desires. But if you're someone who has that entrepreneurship instilled in you, you're looking for a little bit more, you want to control more of your time, your financial, all of the things, then we have a career path for you. It's ownership. You can own your own remote agency. I like to think of it as a brick and mortar insurance, office up the street, but it's remote. We hire agents, nationwide. We sell nationwide, and it's really something special that we can both, as moms, have our own agencies, provide an income for our families, but yet do it on our terms at home or wherever we want. And so our founders really help us understand that is how to be a good employee, but also how to go from that employee mentality to being self-employed and owning a business, and then also investing to kind of make that money work for you. We don't want to just have you make a lot of money. We don't want to have you be successful in ownership. We want to teach you how to do it the right way. And I think that's also really special about our founders and what they do. Annie's going to tell you a little bit about how we get paid. We get paid full-time and part-time. She's going to tell you a little bit about full-time Frida.
Oh my gosh, her nickname always cracks me up. Full-time Frida and her little smirk on her face. When I first watched this corporate overview, this was the exact video that I watched, and I immediately was like, I don't know when I can go full-time, but these numbers are impressive. And so I didn't start here full-time. Kristen's going to talk about what part-time looks like. But if you're doing something and you're doing it full-time here, we're looking at about 35 to 40 hours a week where you're clocking in at your own time, right? So this is not someone has a hand over you and telling you, hey, this is when you have to be at the office. So you can, curate those 35 or 40 hours wherever it works with your family schedule. If you are a full-time agent, you're probably looking at somewhere between 15 to 20 sales a month. And full-time Frida, she's at a 95% contract level, which we start at 80. So she's worked her way up the ranks a little bit. And the average sale on our policy is about $100 a monthly payment. So if you multiply that by 12, the average annual premium volume for a year of a policy is about $1,200. The carriers are going to pay you 75% of that up front, and usually it's the day after the sale, if it's an immediate product. So if you take those numbers into consideration and you look at, say, 18,000 each month that she's placing business on, and she's at a 95% commission up front, she's making $17,100 at her commission level, and then her 75% of that up front in the 12 months, you're looking at an annual advance payment of $153,000. Now, listen, I know a lot of careers that make good money, and a lot of them don't require a 10-day course. Okay, to get licensed here, it's a 10-day course. Most people that are making $150,000 are administrators in the teaching profession. They are, lots of different careers, but not a 10-day course that can get you licensed with insurance companies. And then when you look at all of the back end pay that's coming through to her after that 75% advance, her first year commission is $205,000. That's a lot of money for somebody who is learning how to do this through something that is provided to her virtually with mentorship. It's just incredible to me.
There's not a lot of places you could go legally and do that. So.
No.
Like a lot of things that came to mind, but nothing legal.
That's true. That's what I should have said. Yes.
And this
so
is part-time Paul. I'm like, part-time Paul and Frida and Paul are they're dated a little bit. We need to, if you drop a comment below, if you have a new name for full-time Frida and part-time Paul, because we need one. But part-time is where we both started. Honestly, there are some weeks that I might work part-time just because mom life, and Annie and I both started extremely part-time, and Annie crushed it part-time, I'll just say. But part-time is where a lot of our agents start, and I'll be 100% upfront with you. It's where I love my agents to start because I want them to know that they can do this. I want them to enjoy it, and I want them to give themselves some time to get good, because for most it is a learning curve, and I know that for me it was. And I took a lot longer to figure it out than Annie does, and that's okay. But I want you to give yourself some space so that you can not feel like you're burning a hole in your pocketbook while you figure this out. But part-time Paul, even doing this part-time, even doing this 8 to 10 hours, you guys, just with the average policy sale of, like Annie said, $100 per month, we start to do the math on 8 to 10 hours even is incredible, and I would be all in. But this is part-time. Most of our agents are 15 to 20 hours. You can average, once you get good and get through the learning curve, averaging 6 sales a month is pretty spot on. You should be at an 80% contract level, which is where we start everybody. And so, let's just do the math on a little bit of part-time. So that's about $7,200 a month. He's at 80%, so that's bare minimum. That's where we start everyone. Again, you're looking at $5,760 a month. Then we're going to get 75% of that up front, like Annie said. So the carriers are paying us 75% up front. And over the course of a year, you're going to average about 51,000, almost 52,000 in part-time pay. Again, that's pretty phenomenal. Once you get paid out all of those commissions that you earned, you're looking at almost $70,000 as a part-time sales agent. Y'all, I'm in. Sign me up, which is what we did. I mean, that's, again, there are not a lot of places that you can go, learn a skill, do remote work, and get paid that well for part-time hours.
Kristen, I didn't even make that when I left teaching, and I had been a teacher for 10 years. I had my all of my master's credits, and I was on my way to become a principal, and I didn't even come close to a part-time salary here.
Yeah.
That's wild. And I'm taking care of youth, like
Yeah.
educating youth.
we are taking care of the future. Same. I had a master's degree. I mean, Johnny was in education for 16 years and did not make what part-time Paul was making and worked far more than 40 hours a week. So if you're willing to put in the work and to figure out something new, this could be it. And Annie is we've touched on a couple of things, but the training, the tech support, she'll kind of touch on those and what makes us a little bit different here.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, and I don't know that I'll talk about each one of these things, but one of the things that I loved about knowing that I was coming here is that I didn't have a background in sales and in insurance sales, I should say. So my background was in a completely different wheelhouse, but knowing that I could come here and that I could plug somebody in, just like I plugged myself into the onboarding, into the training, and I had unlimited resources available to me. Those are things that like lit me on fire because I'm a teacher or I'm a student by heart, like at heart. And so wanting to learn everything I could learn so that I could get good enough, not the best, but good enough that I could start doing this and doing it confidently. We have that available to us. Symmetry also offers tons of bonuses, which we will probably touch on some of the other perks in a little bit here, but the bonuses are outrageous. I mean, our monthly bonuses, I think last month was just shy of $1 million that was given out just in bonus money to our equity partners and our producers. And just in general, everything from start to finish, while you do feel like you're kind of, drinking out of a fire hose when you start here, everything, all of the Symmetry system is laid out for you when you join. And you're in really great hands of people who are extremely well-developed, well-refined people that are coming, that are here to help you. And I think that's the other thing that I really love is there's mentorship from people above you, beside you, anywhere that you look, people are willing to help.
It's literally like everything that we need at our fingertips in order to be successful here. And then on the ownership side too is everything that we need in order to run. I mean, we had no idea what we were doing, so it's everything that we needed to know and have provided for us in order to run an agency because we again had no idea, and they kind of give that to us in a little box. And just like she was talking about the bonuses, I mean, we could go on about our bonuses forever, but I looked for the most recent month and they haven't posted it yet, but it is insane. I think every month we're like shocked. And I know that we both earn bonuses as owners on a monthly basis, and just looking forward to unlocking that next level of, equity bonus and profit sharing. But there are some bonuses that are, six figures a month, and it's insane. But again, the insurance industry is full of money and we are here to take some of that. So you can earn bonuses as a producer, as an owner. It's just from Symmetry, from the carriers. They've got things that you can get everywhere. And one of the other perks that I love are the trips and incentives. And Annie's actually gotten to go on one.
Yes, so I was able to go to St. Lucia, which was just incredible. They take care of literally everything from start to finish. They, organize your flights. You arrive there, they hand you a bunch of swag. Everything's paid for. There's not one single thing that you have to figure out when you're there. It is just you are served hand and foot. It is incredible. And we watch all the time as other people are going on trips, and I'm always having such FOMO. I'm like, oh my gosh, that trip looks amazing. We just had a bunch of leaders just return from Whistler, and it just looked absolutely incredible.
On my bucket list now.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the trips too, they're just handing you cash and they're saying, okay, go. Like it's paid for. Everything.
Yeah, I stalked Annie on that trip. It looked incredible. And just knowing that they provided everything was special because we've both been on the end where that was not the case. But you guys literally, there are so many things that we could share about Cemetery and what we love about it and the founders and the people and the community and the culture. But I think the one thing that we want you to know, because you can learn a lot here. We can tell you so many things about numbers and bonuses and pay and products and carriers. But I think what's the most important for you to know at this point is that if you're looking for a change in your life, if you're looking for a new career path or something to provide extra income for your family, or maybe it's just something for you, because I know that's what speaks to a lot of people that, a lot of people that come and partner with us here. But if that's something that you're looking for in the next year of your life, then I want you to reach out to the person who invited you to watch this, and have a conversation with them. What are you looking to change in your life and what are you willing to do in order to make that happen? I know both of us were looking for a massive change in our life and we were ready to step out of our comfort zone hugely. And we did that. And I know that we're so thankful that we did. It's not always been easy, but nothing worth having like this is. And I know as the daughter of a business owner that in order to provide big for you and your family and in your life, you've got to show up and do big things. And that's exactly what we're doing here with Cemetery. And we want to find people who want to do that with us. So if that is you, or if this resonates with you or our stories, then reach out to who invited you, have a conversation, and hopefully we can welcome you to our agencies and help you get started